Hello and welcome everyone. My name is Louise Terry and I'm the account manager for New York State in Australia and New Zealand. Thanks for taking the time to join this webinar, which will take you around the beautiful and diverse state of New York to give you all the information and inspiration you need to help create dream holidays for your clients. To start, we've all heard the expression New York, and sometimes may think it's said twice because New York City is so famous. In actual fact, it's said twice because the city is contained within the greater New York state. And what we'll explore in our time together is just how much there is to see and do in New York beyond the city that never sleeps. New York State has 11 distinct regions that are filled with historic sites, abundant culinary and cultural offerings, beautiful natural wonders and more, with experiences ranging from the iconic Niagara Falls to adventure in the Catskills and wine tasting in the Finger Lakes. Across the state, it's easy to plan shorter visits with easy getaways to the Hudson Valley and Long Island, or longer journeys to popular spots like Lake Placid, Albany, Buffalo, and Rochester. Whether it's outdoor activities like hiking, cycling, skiing and snowboarding, gourmet temptations with farm-to-table experiences, or exploring the rich history of the state, it's so easy to love New York and just as easy to create unforgettable holidays. With so much diversity and so many regions to choose from, there really is something for everyone in New York State, from families seeking fun attractions to romantic stays in picture-perfect spa areas. It's also easy to plan the perfect New York holiday around 4 distinct seasons. Winter invites snow play, whether that's getting out in one of the state's 52 ski areas or settling into a cozy winter lodge with mountain views. Spring is the season of colour with bloom trails to follow and flower festivals to discover. In the fall, a spectacular show of colour can be found across the state from Chautauqua to central New York, attracting leaf peepers to marvel at the turning of the trees. And summer is made for outdoor adventures, from hiking in the vast Adirondacks to fun beach days at the Hamptons on Long Island. We also like to call New York State the OG trendsetter, with everything from buffalo wings and jello to Thousand Island salad dressing invented right here in New York State. Even the word vacation started here, when people living in New York City would vacate the city for a break to enjoy nature, food, culture, and the same warm welcome your clients can expect around the state. So New York State really is easy to love and has so much to offer travellers from Australia and New Zealand, with abundant state parks that are home to waterfalls, lakes, hiking trails and scenic lookouts, magical winter wonderlands to explore, endless food and drink offerings including locally made wine, cider and beer, plus a fascinating history from the Erie Canal to the Revolutionary War that helped lead to American independence. And best of all, travellers can choose to explore the state in so many ways, from self-drive itineraries to rail travel or point-to-point internal flights if short on time but big on discovery. We'll start our New York State journey from the south and head upstate, beginning here in beautiful Long Island, just 90 minutes out of New York City by car or on the Long Island Railroad. It can also be easily reached by ferry from the city. Long Island is the place to immerse in the state's boutique coastal scene, from the iconic beaches of the Hamptons to Montauk Point and its picturesque lighthouse, and popular seaside villages like Sag Harbor. It's also where the Great Gatsby was set, with the opulent mansions featured in the famous novel dotted around the island and many open to the public to visit. Farm-to-table dining also awaits on Long Island, paired with award-winning sips from across Long Island wine country. Heading across the Long Island Sound to the Big Apple, New York City, prepare for bright lights, big sights, and no shortage of arts, culture, and cuisine. As one of the most popular places in the US for Australians and New Zealanders to visit, the city barely needs an introduction, from Broadway and Times Square to Central Park and the Statue of Liberty. But there are some other highlights, plus new and upcoming things to keep in mind when planning city trips. Hudson Yards, The Edge, is where you can step out onto the highest outdoor sky deck in the Western Hemisphere for breathtaking city views and great photo opportunities. Top of the Rock, the Beam, is where you can recreate the iconic 1932 lunch atop a skyscraper photograph with this incredible photo experience above Manhattan. The summit at One Vanderbilt is an immersive sky-high experience combining mirrors, light, and art with panoramic views across New York City. The High Line is a lush, elevated park built on a historic rail line, weaving through art, gardens, and architecture, with always something new to enjoy. The Frick Collection is a newly renovated museum of European masterpieces, beautifully reimagined in a restored Fifth Avenue setting. At One Times Square is where you'll find the home of the world-famous New Year's Eve ball drop, and it's now opening to visitors with a new observation deck and exhibits. At Grand Central Station, the iconic Oyster Bar has been serving legendary oysters since 1913, right there in Grand Central at the iconic dining hall right under the station's vaulted ceilings. At Mercer Labs Museum of Art and Technology, you'll find a cutting-edge interactive museum blending art, sound, and digital innovation in a multi-sensory experience. And new and classic Broadway shows are always new. From timeless favourites to blockbuster productions, Broadway delivers the world's most unforgettable live theatre. And a treat and a little insight into what's coming up in 2026 is the Hip Hop Museum, a groundbreaking tribute to the culture that was born in the Bronx and celebrating 50 years of innovation and history. Moving to Hudson Valley, it's a much visited escape, just 90 minutes or so from New York City, easily accessible by car or on the Amtrak line, and a magnet for those seeking stunning scenery, fascinating history, and delicious gourmet experiences. Hudson Valley is home to the Culinary Institute of America, featured on this slide and set along the Hudson River. It's the training ground for many of the world's most celebrated Michelin star chefs, and also invites food lovers to dine in its student-run restaurants or take a cooking class. If you've seen the Gilded Age series, you're looking at some of the show's settings and stories right here in Hudson Valley, with lavish mansions from the era open to visit, including the stunning Lyndhurst Mansion. And families will love the Legoland theme park, with the added bonus that if the kids are having too much fun for one day, you can choose to stay overnight at the Legoland Resort. The Catskills is well known as a place of beautiful nature and being the birthplace of American fly fishing, and it has plenty of both plus a whole lot more to explore. Starting with nature, there's everything in the Catskills, from ziplining adventures at Catamount Mountain Resort to skiing at Platekill Ski Mountain and hiking trails at Catskill Preserve. For avid fly fishers, don't miss the Catskill Fly Fishing Centre, the world's largest museum dedicated to the sport. A lesser known but must-do highlight is the Bethel Woods Centre for the Arts, located at the historic site of the legendary 1969 Woodstock Festival. Visit the centre to relive this iconic music event and its story of peace and music through remarkable displays and interactive features. Famous for its Saratoga Racecourse, which has hosted horse racing since 1863, capital Saratoga is also home to the state's capital, Albany, and a soothing spa scene. For travellers looking to explore history while immersing in wellness and culture, capital Saratoga will not disappoint. Blessed to be home to natural spring waters, the region has long been a place to revive and restore, with the centre of the wellness scene set at Saratoga Springs, where you'll find day spas and luxurious spa resorts. For history buffs, the New York State Capitol building in Albany is a must, a stunning structure that is the base for New York's government. The Schuyler Mansion is also a popular landmark named for Philip J. Schuyler, a Revolutionary War general, and it's also where Alexander Hamilton, of Hamilton the Musical, spent time, having married Schuyler's daughter. Tours of the mansion bring more of these stories to life. Named for the long, finger-like stretches of lakes at its heart, the Finger Lakes region has it all: wineries, waterfalls, boat cruises, and some remarkable museums to explore. Best known for its vineyards, the Finger Lakes is the third largest wine producing region in the US, and there are many cellar doors to visit for tastings and a dedicated wine trail to follow and enjoy. Nearby are some charming lakeside towns like Skaneateles, where boat cruises and village life combine to provide a calm and tranquil ambience. Art lovers will not want to miss the Corning Museum of Glass, and kids both young and old will delight at the Strong Museum of Play in Rochester. Watkins Glen also comes with two incredible attractions. It's home to breathtaking nature trails and waterfalls, and the Watkins Glen International, a thrilling NASCAR racetrack. Central New York is not only thirst-quenching with over 100 craft breweries and distilleries on offer, it's also a place to discover more of New York's diverse history. For movie lovers, the All Things Oz Museum is a treat for Wizard of Oz fans. Set in Chittenango, the museum is a tribute to the author of the story, Frank Baum, who was born here. Sports buffs will love the National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum in Cooperstown, a homage to the national sport and with something to interest all ages. You can also navigate the incredible story around the making of the Erie Canal aboard a cruise that brings to life this remarkable engineering feat that created an important trade route from Buffalo to New York City, opening in 1825. As delicious as the famous salad dressing that was invented here, Thousand Islands Seaway is a maritime mecca, with boating around its many islands a key drawcard. More than just 1,000, there are actually 1,864 islands across the region, the largest being Wolfe Island. A natural gateway between Canada and the United States and a UNESCO World Biosphere Reserve, here you'll find ancient castles such as the Singer Castle, once home to the inventor of the Singer sewing machine and now available for overnight stays, and Bolt Castle, located on Hart Island. Adventures abound in the Thousand Islands Seaway region, from cruising through island-dotted waterways to uncovering the past at the Fort Ontario State Historic Site. The Thousand Islands Seaway offers a perfect blend of history and nature. Soar above the sparkling St. Lawrence River on a hot air balloon ride, dive beneath its clear waters to explore historic shipwrecks, or relax into a traditional shore dinner featuring the region's famous Thousand Island dressing. Whether it's an overnight castle stay or a sunset cruise, every experience here feels like stepping into a living postcard. With over 6 million acres of protected area, it's no wonder that the Adirondacks is a natural paradise and a mecca for outdoor adventures right throughout the year. The Adirondacks is a nature-based destination through all the seasons. In the warmer months, hiking trails in the Adirondack Park are a must-do for adventurers, while refreshing swims and water play are on the agenda at pristine Lake George. Come winter, Lake Placid is a go-to for skiing and snowmobiling, plus bobsledding. As host to the Winter Olympics twice, in 1932 and 1980, visitors can jump aboard a ride down the original Olympics bobsled track. The Adirondack Park is a playground to hike, drift or soar through year-round. Meet a North American wildlife up close at the Wild Centre, or share a little festive magic at Santa's Workshop in the North Pole, New York. You can also sip and savour along the Adirondack Craft Beverage Trail and soak up the sweeping lake and mountain views that make this region a true escape into nature. Named for the mighty Niagara Falls, which connects the US with Canada, this region is great for many reasons, delivering iconic sights with a fresh, dynamic edge. Let's start with one of the world's most well-known natural features, Niagara Falls. By day, it's an exhilarating thrill to cruise on the Maid of the Mist, feeling the power of the falls and quite a bit of the mist. By night, it's a breathtaking spectacle to see the falls illuminated, with the added bonus of nightly fireworks in summer. Beyond Niagara Falls, there's much more to take in, from sampling world famous buffalo wings to the rich history of the Erie Canal, which starts here. You can cheer on the Buffalo Bills, one of New York's 3 NFL teams, explore the revitalised canal-side waterfront, or discover masterpieces at the Buffalo AKG Art Museum. And architecture fans will marvel at Frank Lloyd Wright's visionary Martin House, while thrill seekers make a splash at the aquatic theme park Six Flags Darien Lake. Last but not least, we arrive in Chautauqua, Allegheny, a blend of natural beauty and nationally significant cultural highlights. A world-renowned hub for the arts, from concerts, classes, and exhibits, the Chautauqua Institution is set lakeside and attracts thought leaders and knowledge seekers the world over. In Jamestown are both the National Comedy Centre, where you're guaranteed a good laugh, and the Lucille Ball Desiarnaz Museum, a tribute to the stars of I Love Lucy, especially Lucille Ball, who was born here in the town. Alongside these attractions is Red House Lake, set in the vast Allegheny State Park, and a serene spot to take a swim, go fishing, or even enjoy some snow play in winter. That brings us to the end of our tour around the states. Now here's some of our tips to help bring that New York State holiday together. And really, getting around New York State couldn't be easier with lots of different options. For those who prefer to explore at their own pace, hire a car and explore the many scenic routes and byways across the state. There are also a range of train journeys on offer, which we'll talk more about in a moment. In terms of flights, there are a wide range of international and domestic flight connections into JFK or New York's many regional airports. And on the horizon for 2026 is also Qantas's Sunrise program, which aims to see direct flights from Sydney to New York. There are also plenty of other fun ways to get around, and cyclists in particular will love the Empire State Trail, a path network that runs from Manhattan to the Canadian border and from Albany across to Buffalo. For self-drive holidays, there are a range of great themed journeys on offer that can be taken at your own pace, from shorter explorations in and around New York City, such as the Beyond the Big Apple, which explores Long Island, New York, Hudson Valley, and the Catskills. Or you can look at the Wine, Water and Wonders trip, which crosses the state from New York up to Niagara Falls, taking in the Hudson Valley and the Finger Lakes. And up north, if you're wanting to venture through capital Saratoga and the Adirondacks regions up to Montreal, there's also a trail for that. For travellers who perhaps aren't as comfortable driving or just love a good train journey, this is a fantastic option to get around and really be able to enjoy the views of the train journey. There are some great options to choose from, taking in regional highlights we've covered in today's webinar and enabling multi-day rail itineraries to be developed, and all services connecting in with New York City. We've made it even easier to sell New York State with some sample short stay packages that combine New York City and some of the key regions that are close by, creating the base for a 2-night and 3-day itinerary. The New York City and Hamptons package blends the fun of the city with the slower pace of island life and lazy beach days. Our second option is for foodies and art lovers, taking in cultural must-dos in New York City and the many culinary options on offer in Hudson Valley, all in easy reach by car or train. Finally, our must-do itinerary includes all the city sights and attractions that are on most travellers' wish list, from Times Square to Niagara Falls, as well as great time in Buffalo to really take in some of those sights and a Buffalo Bills game if it's the right time of year. So that brings our adventures around New York State to a close. I hope that's helped to give you more insight and interest into this incredible destination and how to share it with your clients. You can find even more inspiration at our I Love New York website with maps, itineraries and FAQs. You can scan the QR code here to get to this trade-specific resource page. And finally, here's me and my details. Please do get in touch if if you have any queries at all about New York and its incredible 11 regions. Thanks again for your time, and we hope this has helped you to see how easy it is to love New York and create unforgettable holiday ideas. And now that you've completed the webinar, it's time to answer a few questions and fill in your details on our trade resource page for the chance to win one of our fabulous prizes with July luggage for the first prize and for 2 runner-up prizes as well. You'll find entry details below this video on our New York State resource page, or you can scan the QR code here to head to the page directly. Good luck and have fun.